Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Welcome back again. It's another weekly dish of the Banter Club. I think we've been away for a few weeks, maybe two or more, but we are back again. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome you again on this episode of the Banter Club. My name is Mohau, and I'm not riding solo as always. I've got Jakey. Good evening, Jakey.
Even how are you, man?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great, man. It's been quite a while. It's good to be back.
Yeah. And a man who hasn't been available for the Banter Club for quite some time. That's Una. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you do? How you doing?
No, we are
And he's
all
wearing an
well.
Arsenal shirt.
No wonder Arsenal has been winning, probably because he's been away. So let's see if it's the Arsenal that we know. It'll well go the usual routine you loser.
Nah, it's not going to happen, that one.
But ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, that key FIFA break, preparation of the World Cup, where now countries are playing against each other to qualify for the World Cup, which will take place in Qatar in 2022. So right now we are gonna talk all things Bafana Bafana, of course, to see what's happening within the camp of Bafana Bafana. There's been a lot been said this whole week. We've heard a lot from the coach of Bafana Bafana, Coach Hugo Bros. So I think to start things easily, let's first look at the group which Bafana Bafana has been placed on. Where now I think JK will address us on the. Let's look at Group G, JK, where Bafana Bafana is leading by 4 points, and then there's Ethiopia, which we are going to play against, which Ethiopia has 3 points, sitting at position number 2, and of course Ghana position number 3 with only 3 points, and lastly but not least, Zimbabwe with 1 point. Are we winning, Jackie? Group G?
Firstly, let's look at the fact that it's been a crazy week with regards to Bafana. The coach has said a mouthful, to be honest. People have been saying that he's a very opinionated coach. He's a very direct coach. He expresses himself freely. Uh, he's been complaining about the state of South African football administratively and the football quality in general. And so it's been a very crazy week. So if you look at that also, it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to affect what we're going to see tomorrow against Ethiopia. But looking at the group itself, you've got Bafana Online, who are currently leading the group with 4 points, and you've got Ghana, who are kind of struggling and they fired their coach. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to approach their game. And you've got an Ethiopian side who relatively have a great home record. They have really done well at home. So it's going to be a tough one. But I'm looking forward to see how Bruce is going to approach it. Is he going to be very cautious like the game against Zimbabwe, where we didn't really see much from him offensively, but he did say that if you get a point away, it's enough. So I'm expecting a very tactical, a very defensive approach. But even though I would want us to go for the entire 6 points, because if you get 6 points from the next two games, we're in a great position to actually go to the next round. But I think, judging from what I'm seeing, it may be a very a tough task for Bafana to go and get 3 points in Ethiopia. But anything is possible. So let's see how they're going to approach it. But I just have a feeling that a point will probably get it there.
Mm-hmm. And then Una, is it still early to celebrate? Say that at least Bafana Bafana go position number 1. Maybe we might get a chance and win, rather go through to get a chance to qualify for the World Cup. Is it still early to celebrate? Because I mean, we just only 1 point difference from Ethiopia and of course Ghana.
Well, yeah, you see, with Bafana Bafana, it's been touch and go for a very long time. Now, the question that you asked for me is very difficult for me to respond because Bafana has never beaten Ethiopia in qualifiers. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. But for us to go through this group, I think we are facing a very weakened Ghana team, and Zimbabwe is Zimbabwe is more like South Africa. They have all the potential they can get. Their firepower in front is just so much, but just somehow they just can't get it over the line. So yeah, it's very possible that we can go through this group.
And then calculators, we're gonna have to look for those calculators and calculate maybe when we are now on game number 4, so that if this team wins and that team beat another team, Jackie, are we close to removing our calculators from wherever we have placed them?
For me, it's what's very interesting for me because we have a home game against Zimbabwe next, and we still have a home game against Ethiopia, and the rest of the games is away. If hopefully for me, if we get at least 9 points from the remaining games, we can make it to the next round. We don't have to use the calculator. But like Una says, the thing is with Bafana, you may think that everything is guaranteed, but because the mindset of the technical team sometimes they go against those teams knowing the fact that okay, they probably can get a draw. But like I said, for me tomorrow against Ethiopia playing away, I would want us to go for the entire 3 points. We have nothing to lose. You get a point, you get 3 points against Ethiopia away, and you get and you get a good result again in the return leg at home at 6 points, and then you still have Zimbabwe. You're going to play them at home. That is 9 points. If you get 9 points from that, and even if you lose against Ghana, you have a better chance of going through to the next round. But like I said, it's gonna depend on the approach. Are we gonna say that um, we're gonna go go to Ethiopia and Ghana uh, looking for we're looking for 3 points, or we're gonna go there being cautious, just looking for a point? If you go there knowing the fact that we're going to just defend, I can guarantee that we're not going to be successful because you don't want to go into the last game of the group um, looking for a draw or a win. And you know that Bafana struggle under pressure. So I would want us before we get to even the second last game of the group, we are guaranteed at least to make it through to the next round.
Mm. I mean, talking about the mindset of the technical team, there's been a lot that has been said this whole week from the coach of Bafana Bafana. Could you say something that we actually needed, Una?
Definitely, we need honesty. We need someone with the also skill to actually try to transform and bring back the glory days of South African football. We call ourselves a football nation, but let's be honest, we are a small national team with a good history.
But is there anything different that has been mentioning this whole week? Because I mean, it spoke about the issue of not getting support um, from the country, from different clubs, and of course, I mean, from it looks like there's no support at all. So, I mean, is there any difference? Because, I mean, it looks like we've been experiencing this whole thing. Only now, I don't know, a lot of people are amazed when he's mentioning this thing to say that, I mean, there seems there's no support when it comes to the national team from different clubs, from different coaches. Could you say, is there any different approach from the country towards Coach Hugo Bros, Jackie?
We lost Mahal. Una?
Jackie, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about Coach Hugo Bros to say that, I mean, since he has arrived and this whole week he has spoke a lot of things, and I mean, it looks like we are shocked to hear information about not countries, not the country not supporting him, coaches, different clubs. Could you say that there has been any difference within the team since he has arrived and before?
I'm struggling to hear you, how. I think you're breaking.
I'll take over from there, Mohau, and just say that yes, there's so much difference in terms of the approach and from what we've
Yeah, but
seen
I think I
before.
heard a part of your question. Uh, the thing is with Hugo Bruce. Um, I like the fact that he's very opinionated, he's very direct. But the issue that really sparked a lot of problems for me during the week, the situation of Orlando Pirates player Goodman Musele, for me was it was exaggerated in my opinion, because the way in which he put the situation, it was as if Goodman is an unprofessional. And from what we know, or from what most of us know, is that it is a poorly the situation of that um, the player team and Bafana Bafana's department, communication department, was not well. They were not transparent with regards to what the situation of Goodman said. And it is his responsibility as a coach to find out from the department of communication, yeah, Bafana, what is happening with this player. And for him now to say that, to conclude that he's not serious, Goodman Musel is not serious uh, to play for Bafana Bafana, for me, to an extent, it's not right, because you would now think that that's going to affect the psychology of the player, because it's been reported that Goodman, he's struggling with his own um, situation, and you could have handled it differently. You could have just said that the player has just failed to report to the squad, and just end it right there until he gets proper facts on what's happening with regards to the player. But now for him to go as well and say, "We're fine, the player is not serious to play for Bafana Bafana," and to an extent attacking the Orlando Pirates team, and then going further and saying that there's a big problem in South African football, which is true. But also remember that you need to also um, be careful of what you say when you are the coach of the national squad, because then it creates problems within your own technical team or the people that you work for. We all know that staff has got big problems, and we all are aware that Bafana Bafana for such a long time has failed dismally, especially when it comes to the structure. But you could have handled it better. Fine, also going to the situation here, Kutumela, I also feel as if in this case, I would blame to an extent Sundowns for perhaps not communicating with Bafana Bafana team or Vine. Kutumela is scheduled to get the thing vaccine, the second jab this week. They should have communicated earlier, and had they communicated earlier, then we know we're fine. Uh, Bruce is probably going to get a replacement, but they failed to do that. But generally, I was not entirely happy with the comments from Hugo Bruce. He could have handled it a little bit better, because now people are going to say that he to an extent he's what is the word? He is giving us, we can expect excuses if Bafana does not win tomorrow, for example, or if Bafana fails to qualify for the World Cup. I understand that his mandate is not necessarily to qualify for the World Cup. He's rebuilding the squad, but it seems as if Bruce is one coach who has plenty of excuses, if I can put it like that, because he's constantly complaining at his press conferences, and I don't like that, man. If you're gonna complain, but you can't complain every single press conference when the journalists ask you questions. You say this, you say that about the national team. You say this about structure. Yeah, Bafana Bafana. You came here to do your job. You came here to lead the team, and we all are aware that Bafana Bafana has got a problem. We are aware that Safa has got a problem. But if you're constantly reminding us, then we know we're fine. The day if Bafana fails to qualify for again, maybe he fails to qualify for the AFCON, the next AFCON, then he's probably gonna say that it's due to the structure of Bafana Bafana not being proper that they failed to qualify. So you can complain, but at least do not constantly complain about the same thing that we already know as the national as supporters of the national team. Find a solution that you can work because we all know the problem there at Bafana Bafana is within the structure itself. You can't now all of a sudden start blaming your Pirates, your Suns, or the clubs in general. You need to look at the people that you are working with or find are they assisting you? Are you working with the right people? Then we can take it from there. But I did not like his comment.
I mean, but wouldn't you say that it's important for him to mention this as early as possible? Because, I mean, if he had waited for, let's say, after 15 games, which maybe has lost 9 games and then is about to be sacked, and then now he's starting to mention these things, wouldn't we then say that, he's bitter now because we are about to let him go? Isn't it important to mention problems as early as possible?
According to me, it's good that he said what he said. Whether it came out as harsh as possible or not, but I think we need that amount of honesty for football to go forward. Yes, we call ourselves a professional setup and whatnot, but we do need to work on the communication level because from what I got throughout the week is that the biggest problem of our football in terms of Bafana Bafana and TSL is communication. Is we can just work on that communication line and everything is in order. I think we can go further. And it was good that he said it now before we play so that we don't have all the speculations when the starting 11 comes out.
Definitely, because I mean, I would use an example of Babyface lyrics on one other song where he says, "Well, sometimes a fool doesn't know that he's a fool," and I think you don't know that you're making mistakes up until someone mentions. Maybe let's hope that when now Bafana Bafana coach mentioning certain problems, there will be a solution. There will be something of fixing those problems, because I mean we know that there's a lot of problems apart from the two that Jackie has mentioned and a couple of problems that I've mentioned, but we know that there's a lot of problems within the national team. And I mean we could unapologetically say that the hands we're receiving, rather we're seeing these results, is because of the problems that we are seeing. But just looking at the team itself, is it important to qualify right now, or should we just continue to say that let's wait, let's continue to build this team? Because I mean, we have seen countries which weren't interested in winning trophies, but they were interested in building teams. And after building those teams, we've seen them coming through and winning even World Cup. We'll talk about the likes of Germany. So could you say that should we forget about qualifying for the World Cup and focus on building this team? Jackie?
I think I'll take over from that one.
Somehow, I'm
Yes,
talking to you.
the looking at the names that he selected or the players that he selected, it's good that the deadwood are gone. What that's why you just there as tractors and not really giving us anything going forward in terms of building, because you can have all the experience, you can have it on the field, but is it good enough for you to actually build for the future, to actually build for the African Nations Cup, to build for the World Cup? Like you mentioned, you've seen Germany, most of the team that actually went to glory, you've seen with France, the team that actually grew up together, they grew together, the bulk of the team grew together from the junior levels up to the senior levels.
And I mean, which players should we look out for and hopefully to see them playing within the national teams maybe for the next 5 years? Jackie?
Yeah, we lost Jackie there, but for me, I think if we can start from the goalkeeping department, it's actually very disappointing that we don't really know who's our number one keeper. Yes, we know Ronald Williams is actually the captain currently. Can do the job, but he's 29 and the bulk of the team is around 25, 24. So are we really building with having Ronald Williams? He's very prone in making mistakes. So I think in terms of the goalkeeping department, uh, we need to first adopt the style that the Egyptian FA adopted, where it's actually law that no foreign goalkeeper can play for an Egyptian team. That way, you put your goalkeepers in the deep end and they are forced to perform. So to give a name, I don't really have a name. I really had hope for Johnny February. I had hope for the Golden Arrows keeper, but he really needs to get in shape. Bruce Puma, um, he needs some work. He needs a few minutes, not a few minutes. He needs minutes to actually make it out there. And when you come to defense, the Rook player, the Rook guy from Masandawana is actually a very, very top defender. If maybe we can just keep his pairing with Yanda Tulu for a very long while, I think that can work in favor of South Africa. And in terms of the wing backs, Frosla, you have your Morenas, your Lacays, you have your Martinisos, we really have the prospect. So if we can just really like say three on the left hand side, three on the right hand side, and just stick with that three for maybe the next 4 or 5 years, we can do good. In the middle of the park, South African players, we are always gifted in terms of midfielders. So you have your good man Mosele. It's very unfortunate of what happened with this selection in this time around. Um, you have your Kotia, Kudri. I was really hoping to see Awongo Simpile Nobo, but in terms of what's happening in Kaiser Chiefs, it's actually not good for the national team. But we cannot just only select from Masanda One, Kaiser Chiefs, and Orlando Pirates. We need to broaden our pool, but it's always good to have that one pool. And I'm really glad that who Hugo Bruce, Hugo Boss is actually promoted the under 23 squad that was to the Olympics. If you can just stick with that team for a while, then we can do good. I think that he can take over from here.
Yeah, I think speaking about the under 23, I'm actually shocked that you didn't even mention these three players, the likes of Hlongwane, Mukwena, and Letsolo, because I mean, I think they have been crucial within the national team, and I think they are the players that we should definitely look out for, especially tomorrow's game against Ethiopia. And I think they are the future of Bafana Bafana, because I mean, if we talk about the Mukwena, he's one of the best players that we could say that we have currently, although he's underrated player, but on his good day, he'll show you what he's best in. And I think these three guys, I think they are the players that we should definitely look at for. Jackie, which players should we look at for within the national team, especially the players that were brought in by Coach Hugo Bros? Jackie, can you hear me?
Let me, before Jakey goes on, in terms of the Womokwena, yes, my wish uh, 2 seasons back would have been we should be in Europe by now, but I'm way over that fever of sending all our players in Europe. I think if we can move to a bigger team, whether it's Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, or Kaiser Chiefs, just to push him to have that edge. I think we we are sitting with a really good talent there. And in terms of Hlongwane, I just get goosebumps when he's playing. So he's one of the players that I really look forward in terms of carrying Bafana Bafana going forward. There's Luther Singh and going forward, but given the comments that the coach made, I really have my doubts in terms of him making the, the national team.
I don't know. Should we have players which we can say that they are um, players we where we can trust them? Be it the next 5 years, should we have players like that? Where now we know if the coach will announce a squad today or tomorrow, we know that these 10 players will be within the national squad. Should we have players like that, Jackie?
Uh, I think we lost Jackie again. Yes, like I've been saying, let's keep this group that we have. Let's go forward with it. Just experience, like I said, South Africa, we are very obsessed in terms of experience. So experience is not what we need right now. Right now, we need to be realistic about what we need, and what we need is actually to build to go forward. Wo Shanti, Wo Itumelenku, and all those other players, we need to forget about them. Let's stick to the players we have.
Jackie, do we have you? Okay, I think let's look at the game that will be played tomorrow, Una. Right now, we are sitting at position number one with 4 points. Ethiopia position number two with only 3 points. We've managed to win a game, same as Ethiopia. We've draw one game. Ethiopia has only lost one game. So it's do or die, of course, for us, especially playing away. Could you say that we have everything to win this game? Do we have the quality that we need to win this game?
Yes, we have the quality to win this game, but the mentality must be there. The mentality not to undermine Ethiopia, saying that they're not a football nation, shouldn't be there. We need to look at this game like it's a cup final. We need to take that approach and just take it from there. I think we have the players, we have the right mentality in terms of what the coach is bringing. So we can sneak this one in 1-0. 1-0 is my prediction for this game. In terms of Ghana and Zimbabwe, I'm really hoping for a draw. I'm really hoping for a draw, but I think Ghana will take this one. I'm not sure about Jackie. What's your prediction, Jackie?
I think Jackie is having a bit of a challenge when it comes to his audio. It's a big one, especially for us. I mean, we are sitting comfortably on position number one, but anything if anything happens apart from a win for South Africa, then that means that the logo has to change, but the group has to change. So I think for us winning that next game, as I've mentioned, those three players, the likes of Bomuko and Hlongwane, to come through for the nation and at least get to score 2 goals would be good for the team, and hopefully we can come. They could come back with 3 points, and we could be sitting at is it still at position number one with how many points? 7 points.
4 points. It's
No, I
four
mean we
points.
have 4 points right now. If we win tomorrow, that means that we'll have 7 points comfortably at position number one.
Yes, we have to win tomorrow. It's a must that we win tomorrow's game. Um, remember when the Mashawa era, yes, the coach got a bit arrogant, allegedly, but that we know they will defend me. But we used to qualify for these things without losing any games. So I think that's my hope for this. qualifiers because we still have another three teams that we can face after this stage. But tomorrow is a must win for us.
Yeah, well, definitely a must-win one. I think we have come to an end when it comes to our weekly show. Hopefully, our predictions are right, and hopefully by next week when we come back on live on the Banter Club, Bafana Bafana, rather South Africa will still be sitting at position number one with 3 extra points, and of course leading that group. So we would like to wish the national team, the players, the coaches, all the best to tomorrow's game, and hopefully they could come back with the 3 points. Your last word, Una?
Bafana Bafana, remember the days where we used to have the FGC choir singing Bafana 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 Bafana. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be singing also. So all the best to the national team. Also all the best to Banyana Banyana. Actually, they lost today, but unfortunately, but I still give them a shout out in terms of the tournament they just won recently. I saw Washington was playing earlier, they won 3-2. So halala to them, but in terms of Bafana Bafana, may they go out there, do us proud, and basically do themselves proud also because they need to also just play for themselves as much as they play for the national team. That way they can show their heart, they can show everything and do it for the badge. Yes, I know it's the Arsenal badge, but tomorrow is the South African badge.
Jakey, any last words from you?
I think Ona said everything. But, good luck to the boys. I know it's gonna be very difficult playing in Ethiopia. I'm just hoping for 3 points tomorrow. I don't care how it comes, as my kids would say, a penalty, handball, don't care. We just have to get 3 points tomorrow.
Should we send a couple of referees from our side from South Africa there?
Yes, Jelly
I,
Chavani might do that.
I am not going to comment on referees. I have not benefited from a referee this season, so I'll wait for me to benefit before I comment on referees. But good luck to the boys. It's going to be tough, no doubt about it. It's going to be tough. But like I said, if the mindset is right, if you go with the mindset that you're going to get 3 points tomorrow, you want to win the game, you win the game. You get a positive result if I put it like that. But if we say that we're going to defend like the first game against Zimbabwe, then they might surprise us because I think, if I'm not mistaken, they are going to be fans in Ethiopia tomorrow because I think the last time they met uh, in the AFCON qualifier, there were like 2,000 fans, if I'm mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. So, so it's going to be a tough one. But I believe that we'll get a positive result. We'll get a positive result, and yeah, man. And good luck to Wanyana Wanyana. I know they lost also. They lost in the semifinals. Heartbreak. That late lost to was it Mozambique, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So they will be playing in the third and fourth playoff. So good luck to them. We are praying that they end the tournament very well. And yeah, man, all the best to all the teams over the weekend. I know that there are plenty of teams across the continent also playing the qualifiers for the World Cup. We're praying that they also get some positive results. And I also want to see some upsets, man. Hey, this weekend we want something positive. I'm not a fan of international break, but uh, I'm just praying that we see good football. That's what's the most important thing for me. Then we can go back to the real deal when the biggest team in South African football comes back, Mamelodi Sundowns.
And your predictions?
Prediction: I'm gonna go for 2-0 win for Bafana.
Who's scoring?
A certain defender who has who has helped a certain team not to concede this season is going to score his first international goal. A certain center back. His name is The Rip. The Rip is going to score his first goal, and second goal. Second goal. I'll go with Sangwani. Sangwani, I think you will get something from it also. Yeah.
the good thing about this is that Bennett Parker is not there to score spectacular own goals.
Speaking of Bennett Parker, I heard that he was giving the players some advice, Kwano Churena and certain other players wishing the Bafana Bafana luck. What do they know about qualifying for World Cup? These people?
But he has played for Bafana Bafana, Chief.
But what does he know about qualifying for World Cup? He's never qualified for World Cup.
I mean, mind you, today marks the day. Remember that day that they were dancing, celebrating that at least we have qualified country. No, the numbers are saying something different.
Who was leading the celebration? Because I remember seeing 6 Chiefs players there. I saw Kaka, I saw Kune,
But
I
they still
saw
have the Chiefs
Parker, I saw Sabalala, I saw Lislonyani. I didn't see any Sandawana
Sundowns
there.
legend Mudisa was there.
Who?
Sundowns legend Teko Mudisa was also there.
Yeah, but he was not leading celebrations.
Players, was still there before going to
Please respect us. Please respect us. Please respect us.
Okay, Una, your predictions for this game?
Tomorrow it's 1-0 to Bafana, 1-1 to Ghana and Zimbabwe. 1-0 to Bafana against Ethiopia, 1-1 between Zimbabwe and Ghana.
Ghana's winning 3-0 tomorrow. It's tomorrow that Ghana. I think it's gonna be a reaction from Ghana. You know, when you have a new coach, there's obviously gonna be a new mindset. And after losing to South Africa,
do they have the money to pay the new coach though?
That's another situation for another day.
Well, from my side, I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for Bafana Bafana. I'll go for Hlongwane and Mokoena scoring those 2 goals. I'm not sure if are they playing for Sundowns, Jackie?
Hlongwane is a Sundowns player. He's a Sundowns player. We just kept him there just for this season one. He will come at the right time. Mokoena is also a Sundowns player. Just I do not want to break you guys' hearts for now, but they will announce in due course.
Well, there's a powerful Santa supporter there. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. Lastly, I think as we've mentioned, we would like to wish the national team all the best for tomorrow's game against Ethiopia. A win, it's a must win. So anything, 3 points, if we need to send both referee from this side, but it's already too late, so that won't happen. But yeah, they should win.
Those are the words of Mohau, not the words of the Banter Club. We do not want to see problems here. Please. But we do not condone such things.
It's already too late, I get you.
No, okay. Let me just save my comment.
No, guys, thank you very much for your time. For those of you who would like to check this recording, it will be available on, of course, YouTube. That is the Banter Club. You can see right there underneath. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, the Banter Club SA. And of course, Twitter, subscribe the Banter Club SA. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Just tell your grandmother to follow the Banter Club and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, Ralebo. All the best.
So my final line wasn't that good, ne?
No, it was good, but you see, we must have the grandmother.
So bad. Even the fans within the Chiefs setup are also fighting.
But I've just said that everything that he said, I've said it, so he's repeating.
Yeah. No problem. You guys can't even agree on one thing.